Here we go with lines 124 to 127. Interea magno miscere murmure pontum, e missam quiem sensit Neptunus et immis stagna refusa vadis, graviter commotus, et alto prospiciens summa placidum caput extuletunda. Okay, we got the subject is Neptunus. Neptune's coming on the scene, and he is graviter commotus. And graviter is an adverb. Let's put it like that, but it goes with Neptunus. It is meanwhile Neptune, gravely worked up or disturbed. Commotus. Where's his verb? Sensit. He sensed. The pontum, the sea. And now we got a verb that goes with pontum, to be mixed up. Misceri. And it was misceri magno murmure. Ablatives. Magno murmure. With a great rumbling, with a great murmuring. You got an onomatopoeia here. Murmure. And really some great alliteration. Magnum miscere murmure pontum. E missamque himmem. Since Neptunus et immis. It just keeps going. Commotus. There's still some. Summa placidum. But here's the best right here. The alliteration. And he uses this same little phrase elsewhere in the poem, if I remember correctly. So one more time. Meanwhile, Neptune, gravely worked up, or really worked up, sensed the sea to be mixed up with a great murmur. And he also sensed that the storm had been emissam, had been sent out. Okay, and you got to add in an essay here. Okay, essay. Let me show you. Essay, to be. We have going on here an indirect statement. Okay, and I might have talked about these some in the grammar videos. But whenever you have a verb of thinking or seeing or saying, what I like to call a verb of the head. Let me make a picture for you. A verb of the head. Okay, pretend that's a person's head. Well, it's not very it's not very good. Sorry. Let's do that again. That looked horrible. Okay, so there's a person's head. Okay, it's supposedly connected. So anytime you have a verb of the head, either thinking or feeling or sensing or seeing or hearing, anything like that, and then you have what they're thinking or feeling after it, the Romans always do the verb of the head normal, sort of, mood, and then everything else gets put in the infinitive, okay? So in English, we can do this sometimes. I'll show you how it sounds. Neptune sensed the storm, esse, to be, emissam, sent out. That sounds okay, but usually we'd say he sensed that the storm was sent out. That's a little more common to do in English. But in Latin, you always say sensed the storm to be sent out. Sense hiemem emissam esse, or esse emissam. And so he's leaving out the essay there. We got to put it in. Same thing here. Neptune sensed the sea to be mixed up. That's a passive infinitive. Okay, to be mixed up with a great murmuring. Okay, and he also sensed the stagna refusa ex immis vadis. The stagna refusa. He sensed the still waters, refusa, were poured back, and you got to put in esse again. Esse. He sensed them to be poured back. He sensed them to be poured out ex imis wadis. Okay, ablative, ablative, and those go together. I'm going to do it like that. They go together from, this is either ab, imis wadis, ab, because it could be ablative, but it could also be dative to the deep depths. Either the still waters are being poured back to the deep wadis, to the deep depths or shoals. It could also be shallows, but that's kind of odd. Deep shallows, deep depths. Or it could be they're poured back from the deep depths. I don't know which one. It's either a dative or an ablative. Both forms are the same. Okay, so one more time. Just remember, this sensit is very important because it governs. It comes before miski, e misamque esse, e misam esse, and refusa esse. It goes with all of those. He senses three things. Meanwhile, Neptune, gravely worked up, sensed, this is the first thing, the sea to be mixed up with a great murmur. Second thing, he sensed a storm to have been sent out. And the third thing he sensed, the still waters have been poured back, we'll say from the deep depths, or it could be to the deep depths. And prospiciens, looking out, okay, and that goes in Neptune, it's nominative. So all these go with Neptune, they describe him. He is comotus, and he is looking out. And looking out, in alto, this is probably in alto, needs an in. Looking out on the sea, he extulit, he raised up. And what did he raise up? His placidum caput, his calm head. Unda, it's like ex unda, from a wave. Okay, or on a wave, on the top of the water is the idea. Oh, exuma unda, sorry, my bad. Exuma unda, and actually that should be, those are ablative. Or it could be in, I guess, in or ex, either out of the top of the wave or on the top of the wave, on the top of the wave. So we've had all this chaos going on, and now there's a big contrast because Neptune is suddenly on the scene, and look at how nice and calming this last line is. You know, looking out on the sea, he raised his calm head on the highest wave, or on the top of the waves. And then, oh, you know, we know everything's going to be okay. Okay, we'll continue with the next lines.